Hello, Bloodlord here. I would like to discuss today about Doom 4, why it could be good, and some of the features that are possibly missing. One of the main features I would like to talk about is being able to execute the demons and them also being able to execute you. This is from Brutal Doom, which is a mod for classic Doom, and they implemented it quite well. Now, being that this game is also very graphically intense, and I mean the game looked great, and from Doom 1 being when it first came out, which was amazing graphically back then and had a lot of controversy back then. I think this will add into the intensity of the game itself. I mean, just being able to rip people's skulls off and seeing it in first person, it's a little intense. Personally, I I love it, um, but for others, it might be too much. But that, I mean, to each his own. Also, I'd like to mention that hopefully I can't really tell on most of the trailers because they kind of slow things down a bit, kind of add like the dramatic effect of things, which is okay. It's understandable, but I would hope that the game is very fast paced, like classic Doom. I mean, it's just running and gunning and just demon slaying all the way through. And this brings me up to the fact in the showcase they had a wheel like encounter thing that appears when you're switching ammo. Now, hopefully you can switch this off or just press 1 through 8 or use your mouse wheel instead of using this, because I feel like it's too easy. It kind of slows things down and it causes you to think a bit. And Doom, classic Doom, if you weren't paying attention and you switched to a weapon or something and it didn't have any ammo, and there's a cyber demon in front of you, well, you got punished for it. You got splattered all over the walls. Which this brings me to Doom 3. Doom 3, it was a good game in its own, and honestly, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind playing it. When it first came out, it was absolutely terrifying. I would think I was in my teen years when it came out, and playing that game, it was pretty scary. I will have to admit, it was quite graphically intense. But the only problem is, because it was scary, it leaned more towards the horror effect. That's just wasn't what Doom is. It's not what Doom is about. It's about action pack. Yeah, there could be some horror effects, such as you walk in the room, pick up a power effect, and boom, 20 enemies spawn in front of you. That's pretty fucking scary. But Doom 3 is just hiding and walking across like doorways, and it just wasn't what Doom was all about. Now, the main selling point for me for this game, I'm sure that the campaign will be amazing, and I will love it. But I mean, it's not. There's no co-op abilities. They said it would be like you could probably beat it in like 30 hours, and I'm probably gonna beat it sooner than that. And when a game comes out, I'll beat it on the hardest difficulty, less than 30 hours. It's just a campaign. There's only so much content they can shove in that. But the selling point of this game is a snapmap feature, which is pretty good. It's pretty cool. Like it's easy to implement. Players are able to put together a map, either PvP or PvE, and you just have a field day with it. Now, also, I will post up a text message from one of the websites who covers Doom. They said that from Marty Stratton said that you were able to possibly make a playlist with your maps. Now this could possibly lead up to making a campaign, which for PvE, which this game would absolutely excel at. And I'd love to see it because I mean, classic Doom you can play PvE up to like I think 16 players, maybe even more. But the engine's kind of crappy, so it's kind of wears it down for a bit. But from what I can tell, it's easy to make your maps. You're just anyone who has no experience in creating mods or anything can just jump in and start putting things together. It's easy to share content. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to download any mods or anything. It's already there. So all you have to do is download the map. You're able to create your own scenarios, such as triggering like traps or tricks for the players. Like if somebody walks in, picks up power armor, or something like that. I don't know, a cyber demon spawns behind you. Actually, I think you expired cyber demons. Hopefully in this game, in Doom, the cyber demon will not be a special boss. Which, okay, I respect the fact that Doom 3 had such a high podium for the cyber demon that it was its own boss. But it's a cyber demon, and this is a Doom game. They're supposed to be happening multiple times. So when you see one, which you will counter them, you should have, it will mess your day up. That's what it should be. So hopefully in Doom 4, it's not just a quote-unquote boss. It's an encounter. You can it's like a special boss for that level, I guess you can assign for it. But it's just a normal monster, hopefully, that they do that in a Doom 4. And also, I know that the Spider Mastermind is another boss type monster who can compete with the Cyber Demon. But as for my Score Doom video, there is multiple. I think there's like 20 plus like monsters who can compete with the Cyber Demon. And some of them are even more powerful than the Cyber Demon. So hopefully in Doom 4, I know this is wishing for a little bit too much, but hopefully they can add like another monster or two that are either equally as nasty or have their own abilities that are just can compete with the Cyber Demon themselves. I don't know. This would add more variety for the boss encounter. All right, and back to SnapMap. Also, with one of the features that they said they will add is if there's too many monsters in a scenario or in the area, it will quote unquote put them to sleep. I don't know how this will work, but hopefully this doesn't really degrade against the gameplay of the game, because Doom, I mean, it's just like 100 monsters spawn and it's just complete chaos. So I can see why they would do this, because this game is extremely graphically intense and it looks like it would be pretty hard on your system. So if you have too many monsters going on, a lot of systems would probably die. And I can understand why they're going to do this, but hopefully it doesn't really degrade against the gameplay of the game itself. You're able to create your effects, such as like lightning, fire, smoke, particles, decals, object on the walls, which I'm gonna love this because you can put like dead bodies on the walls. Hopefully, come on, like people hanging from the walls or ceilings. That'd be pretty cool. Also, you're able to the people are able to create triggers. So if you pick up like an object, it can be activated, such as like carrying like a flag. So like you can carry like a engine marine or something to the end of the mission to get them to help or something like that. I don't know. You can be creative. Or like you need a duffel bag of explosives or something, and that will trigger a cinematic. I don't know how creative you can be or how much depth you can put into this SnapMap tool, but hopefully people can be quite creative and create their own like cinematics and stuff. Yeah, that could be quite interesting. Now, hopefully the amount of tools that people are able to use, such as like particle effects, fire, smoke, any object such as like barrels or dead bodies, either putting them on the ceilings, the walls, and like triggers. Hopefully they're able to use the same exact tools that Bethesda used in the campaign. So this way, when players make snap maps and make like a playlist, they are able to create their own campaigns. And to sum this up, basically for me, this will be the selling point for me into this game, because the game isn't moddable. Come on, Bethesda. All your other games you're able to mod, but Doom, I mean, I can understand why they don't want to have modding, because this game is so graphically intense and so advanced with the engine. It would take the community an extremely long time to make any type of content. And plus the fact it's trying to be a serious game, and I'm sure there's going to be lots of, I mean, with every game that's being moddable, there's a lot of silly mods out there, but that's part of the fun aspect. I mean, people are very creative, and you could do some interesting things with this. I mean, look at Skyrim, Fallout 4. I mean, all these mods I've been showing you, these are just the community contributing into the games. It doesn't matter how hard or how complex the models are, or how hard it is for the community to develop or add additional content. They will contribute to that company. So I can understand why they don't want to have it happen. But on the other side, I mean, you should at least give them a chance. But as of right now, the game isn't moddable, but that can always change. As for the multiplayer, you have a bunch of difficulty or gameplays you can do. TDM, Team Deathmatch, Clan Arena, Freeze Tag, Domination, Warpath, which is King of the Hill, and Soul Harvest. Also in multiplayer, while you're doing TDM or possibly the other game modes, you can play as some of the playable monsters, such as here's a list: the Reverend, the Baron of Hell, the Mancubus, a Harvester, and the Prowler. I'm not sure what the Harvester or the Prowler is from watching the gameplay. There's a imp-looking figure that flies across the map and sticks a player. I'm gonna take a guess that's probably the Prowler, just because of the name. It just seemed more stealthy. Now, yeah, they seem like decent. I mean, they have they are your average PvP gameplayers, from what I could tell. Just probably just different names or something for them. But I mean, you're adding in a PvE element. Hopefully they have a PvP / kind of like PvE element going in the same time, such as like I don't know, a game mode called Escape from Hell. So as you're battling players, there's enemies, AI spawning in and trying to kill you, and you're trying to do I don't know some type of objective, defend or king of the hill, anything really. And whoever wins, they get to escape hell, or the area or event. And as you know, the victory team runs out of the door or something, and it closes, you get to see the losing team getting ripped apart from hell. I mean, that'd be a pretty cool little cinematic. It would definitely add a more variety and more elements for the players to strategize for. The possibilities are quite endless. I mean, Bethesda could do pretty much anything for this, but they just ended up just doing PvP, and you could add a lot more game modes than just this. Also, in the campaign, this might be a far-fetched, but I've been playing Project Brutality for a bit, and you were able to do it in this mod, and you're able to get weapon upgrades while playing the game, like getting like backpacks or something, and you're able to get just weapon upgrades. And I can understand why they won't add this into Doom, because classic Doom, they're probably going to lean more towards the classic Doom-ish style, and classic Doom-ish style was it was just basically you got your weapon and that was that. It had its own special abilities and it was good against its own select few monsters. I mean, you wouldn't use a minigun against a cyber demon or a Baron of Hell; it just wouldn't be very effective. But maybe, hopefully, you can have slight weapon upgrades throughout the campaign, or possibly snap maps when you're doing PvE, like when you're creating PvE mission and you select I'm doing PvE, and then you can, when you select that option, you can do weapon upgrades or something like that. And I don't know. Hopefully, they'll add more variety to the game and keep things interesting. All right, now that pretty much sums up most of the pros I could think of. Going on to the cons, as I said before, no modding. That, as a PC gamer, that hurts me. But let's see how it goes. You know, I have an open mind. This is Bethesda; they know what they're doing, so I'm trusting you, Bethesda. No co-op campaign. Okay, yeah, but they're putting in snapmap, so this will hopefully cover that. And now for the executions, this seems to be a big selling point, and honestly, I love it. Thank you. But hopefully, being that this is going to be one of the primary abilities or people that are going to be focusing on, hopefully the executions are varied so the players aren't seeing the same executions over and over again. And that goes for the enemies executing you. Hopefully they have different types of executions. To kind of spice things up a bit. I mean, maybe it depends on what type of gun you're using or the environment. I don't know. It could be anything, I guess. And the last thing from what I can tell, for cons, no hand holding. Absolutely no hand holding. Maybe some like casual players, you can turn like a mode on called hand holding, or I'm too young to die. And then there's another difficulty called nightmare or ultra violence, you know, something like that, where players could just jump in and there's absolutely no hand holding. And this goes back to the wheel, where it slows down time and players are able to, I don't know, smoke a cigarette while you're selecting your gun. I don't, yeah, it just seems too easy for me. I like fast pace action and just jumping in, like, okay, I see this enemy, this amount of guys, let me grab my minigun or a rocket launcher. I like to think on my toes. Well, thank you for staying and listening. This is all the things I could possibly come up with the new Doom of the features that they've come out with so far. If there's any more, if you have any questions or concerns or any other news for me, please let me know. Or if anything I didn't cover that you thought that was very important for covering for Doom 4, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. And on the video that you are watching, I decided to play some Project Brutality and use that as a cover. The last video I did a LAN party of this with a few friends of mine, and it was quite entertaining. Yeah, this I just use bots, so that's what you're watching. They're just bots. The AI in this isn't very intelligent. Ooh, one more thing. I was able to get into the Doom beta, but I apologize. I wasn't able to record anything because it only lasted a day for me when I got the key, and I was just too absorbed into the game and I forgot to record it. My apologies. But it felt like Quake 3 Arena, like a fast-paced action. The executions didn't hinder the gameplay at all because they happened like a split second. There was plenty of like health packs around the map. You, in order to heal up, there was you pick up the health packs. There's ammo. Let's see, armor, and you can play as in the beta key. You can play as the Reverend, which was amazing. Playing as a demon, it was quite entertaining, and it also has a horror aspect to it. While you're running around, there will be like pentagrams that spawn on the walls if the demon is near you. So this kind of adds to a horror effect, and I thought that was quite nice. And my apologies again for not recording anything for this video, but for April 15th there will be an open beta, and I will definitely record me getting my ass kicked. I'm not really good at Doom. I was kind of getting the hang of it, but I have a feeling it's going to take me a little while. It definitely feels different, like playing a Doom PvP type game. I don't know, I'm not used to it. But yes, April 15th you will definitely get your footage. But I hope you liked it, and I hope you were informed. Thank you, and have a good day.